Hello, my dear English learners. Welcome back to another English learning journey with me. Today, we're going to talk about something that every learner dreams of, speaking English clearly, confidently, and naturally. Yes, you guessed it, pronunciation. Many learners spend years learning vocabulary and grammar, but when it's time to speak, they hesitate, they mumble, or they feel unsure. If that sounds like you, don't worry. You're not alone. And the good news is, you can improve your pronunciation faster than you think. In this lesson, we'll explore step by step how to train your mouth, your ears, and your mind to speak English with clarity and confidence. So get comfortable, stay focused, and let's begin together. Let me ask you a simple question. When you hear a native speaker talk, do you sometimes feel like they're speaking too fast? Maybe you can understand written English very well, but when someone speaks, the words seem to blend together. That's not because your listening is weak. It's because pronunciation is not only about sounds, it's about rhythm, stress, and connection. English is like music, and once you learn the melody, you can sing the song fluently. So today, we're going to learn that melody together. First, let's start with a quick self-check. Repeat after me. I can improve my pronunciation. Again, I can improve my pronunciation. Say it with confidence. Believe it. Because the first step to mastering pronunciation is believing that you can change the way you sound. Many learners think their accent is permanent, that they're too old, or that their tongue can't move that way. But that's not true. Your mouth is a muscle, and like any muscle, it can be trained. You can reshape your speech habits with consistent, smart practice. Now let's talk about listening. Most learners try to fix their pronunciation by speaking more, but the real secret is listening better. Listening carefully is like building a map in your brain. If you don't hear the sounds clearly, you can't produce them correctly. So here's your first powerful habit: listen with purpose. Don't just watch English movies or YouTube videos. Focus on how the words are pronounced. Try shadowing. That means repeating immediately after the speaker, trying to match their tone and rhythm. Start with short clips, maybe 10 or 15 seconds. Listen once, then repeat what you hear. This technique trains your ear and your mouth at the same time. Let me share a story. A student of mine, Lena from Brazil, once told me she couldn't pronounce the th sound. She said, "Teacher, I'll never sound natural because of this sound." But then I asked her to shadow native speakers, saying words like thank you, think, and three for just 5 minutes a day. After 2 weeks, her pronunciation changed dramatically. The secret wasn't in her tongue, it was in her ear. When she started to hear the difference between think and sink, her mouth followed automatically. Remember, your ear is your best teacher. Now let's practice together. I want you to repeat some sentences after me, slowly and clearly. Repeat, "Thank you for thinking of me." Again, "Thank you for thinking of me." Listen to the rhythm. Notice how thank you connects. It's not thank you, it's thank you. English speakers connect words naturally. Now try this one. 3 thin things. It's a bit tricky, right? This kind of tongue twister trains your mouth to move faster and more accurately. Try it 3 times in a row. 3 thin things. 3 thin things. 3 thin things. Don't worry if it's not perfect yet. You're training your muscles. Every repetition makes you stronger. Let's talk about another secret: word stress. In English, not every syllable is equal. Some are strong, others are weak. For example, say the word banana. Which part is stressed? It's banana. The middle syllable is louder and longer. That stress pattern makes your speech sound natural. If you say banana or banana, it sounds strange even if the letters are correct. So pronunciation isn't just about sounds, it's also about music. When you speak English, think like a musician. Listen for the beats, the rise and fall of the voice. That's what makes you sound fluent. Now, I want you to repeat a few more sentences and pay attention to the rhythm. I like banana smoothies. Again, I like banana smoothies. Did you hear how banana has the stress in the middle? Excellent. Try this. She's going to the market. Notice how market has the stress on the first syllable, market. English stress patterns often change the meaning or clarity of your message. If you stress the wrong part, people might misunderstand you. So always listen first, then repeat with the same rhythm. Now let's talk about intonation. This is the melody of English, how your voice goes up or down. For example, if you ask a question, your tone usually rises, "Are you ready?" But when you give information, it falls, "Yes, I'm ready." Try both now. Say, "Are you ready?" Upward tone, then say, "Yes, I'm ready." Downward tone. Perfect, you see? Even small changes in tone can make your English sound more natural, friendly, and expressive. Here's another quick tip. Record yourself. Yes, it might feel strange at first, but it's one of the most powerful ways to improve. When you listen to yourself, you can hear what others hear. Choose a short paragraph, record yourself reading it, then compare it to a native speaker reading the same text. Don't judge yourself harshly there. This is not about perfection. It's about awareness. The moment you become aware of how you sound, you start improving. Let me tell you another story. Ahmed, one of my students from Egypt, used to hate his accent. He thought it sounded too heavy. But when he started recording his voice every day for a month, he noticed progress he had never seen before. His R became smoother, his Th became clearer, and his confidence grew. The funny part? His friends noticed it before he did. That's how real improvement works, slowly, naturally, and steadily. Now let's talk about mouth movement. English sounds come from specific mouth shapes. If you want to pronounce correctly, you need to see how the mouth moves. Watch videos of native speakers. Pay attention to their lips, tongue, and jaw. For example, when you say V, your top teeth touch your bottom lip. Very, voice, victory. Try it now. Feel the vibration. When you say F, there's no vibration. Fine, food, friend. Practicing in front of a mirror helps you see and feel the difference. Small physical changes create big pronunciation improvements. Now let's add a fun exercise called minimal pairs. These are pairs of words that sound similar but have one different sound, like ship and sheep or bit and beat. Listen carefully and repeat after me. Ship, sheep. Bit, beat, full, fool. Can you hear the difference? In English, small changes in vowel length or sound can change the meaning completely. So practice these pairs until your ear catches every difference. It's like training your brain to hear in high definition. Here's something to remember. Pronunciation is not about losing your accent. It's about being understood clearly. Your accent is a beautiful part of who you are. It shows your identity, your culture, your journey. You don't need to sound exactly like a native speaker. You just need to speak clearly enough for others to understand you easily. That's what true pronunciation mastery means. Clarity, not imitation. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. Step 1, believe you can improve. Mindset is everything. Step 2, listen with focus, your ears guide your mouth. Step 3, practice word stress and rhythm. English is music. Step 4, record yourself and compare. Awareness brings progress. Step 5, watch your mouth movements, use your mirror. Step 6, practice minimal pairs, train your ear for details. And remember, small daily practice is better than big effort once a week. Just 10 minutes a day can transform your pronunciation over time. Before we end this section, let's do one more interactive exercise. I'll say a sentence, then you repeat it twice. Ready? I'm improving my English every day. Again, I'm improving my English every day. Now, another. Clear pronunciation builds and confidence. Repeat. Clear pronunciation builds confidence. Excellent work. Every time you say these sentences aloud, you're not just practicing words, you're building habits of success. And here's your final motivational reminder for this section. Pronunciation is a journey, not a race. Be patient with yourself. Every mistake is a lesson. Every sound you master is a step forward. If you practice with joy and consistency, improvement will come, faster than you expect. You're doing great so far. If you've made it to this part, that means you're serious about improving your English pronunciation, and I want you to feel proud of that. Remember, progress begins when you decide not to give up. So today, let's go deeper. In this section, we'll explore how to train your pronunciation using daily habits, emotional connection, and real-life practice. You'll learn not only what to do, but how to keep doing it consistently. Because practice without passion doesn't last. Let's make pronunciation practice something you enjoy, something that becomes a part of your lifestyle. Let's start with a question. When do you usually practice English? Is it only during lessons or study time? If yes, then you're missing a golden opportunity. Pronunciation improvement happens faster when you make it part of your everyday life. Think about this. Every time you speak, read, or even think in English, your mouth is learning. So don't wait for a perfect study moment. Talk to yourself in English when you cook, walk, or get ready in the morning. Describe what you see. I'm opening the window. The sky looks beautiful today. I'm making coffee. When you speak out loud, even to yourself, you strengthen the connection between your brain and your tongue. Here's something I want you to try today. It's called the mirror method. Stand in front of a mirror and speak English to yourself for 5 minutes. Watch how your mouth moves. Are your lips relaxed or tight? Does your tongue move easily or is it stuck? Try exaggerating the sounds just a little. Make them bigger, clearer, more expressive. This not only improves pronunciation, it also boosts your confidence. When you see yourself speaking clearly, you start to feel more natural. Many famous actors and speakers use this technique because it works. Now let's talk about confidence, because pronunciation isn't just physical, it's emotional. Have you ever noticed that when you feel nervous, your pronunciation becomes worse? Maybe your voice shakes, or your words come out too quickly. That's because your muscles tense up when you're afraid of making mistakes. So here's your next mindset tip. Give yourself permission to sound imperfect. You're a learner, not a robot. Even native speakers make pronunciation mistakes sometimes. The key is to communicate, not to perform. Once you stop worrying about judgment, your pronunciation naturally improves. Confidence relaxes your voice, and a relaxed voice sounds clearer and smoother. Let me tell you about one of my students named May from China. She had perfect grammar and a big vocabulary, but she spoke so softly that people often asked her to repeat. When I asked why, she said, "I'm scared of saying the wrong thing," so we worked on confidence first. I told her to speak louder, to open her mouth wider, and to smile while speaking. After 1 month, her pronunciation transformed, not because she learned new sounds, but because she believed in her own voice. Remember this, your voice is your power. Use it proudly. Let's do a quick vocal exercise together. This will help you warm up your mouth and voice before speaking English. Ready? Repeat after me slowly, ba-ba-ba, pa-pa-pa. Now da-da-da, ta-ta-ta. And finally, ga-ga-ga-ka-ka-ka. These sound pairs help you feel the difference between voiced and voiceless sounds. When you say bye, you feel vibration in your throat. That's voiced. When you say pa, there's a little puff of air. That's voiceless. Try putting your hand on your throat. Say ba. Feel the vibration? Now say pa. No vibration, right? This awareness helps you control your sounds more accurately. Now let's talk about one of the most common pronunciation problems. Vowels. English has many vowel sounds, and they can be confusing because your language might have fewer. For example, in English we say ship and sheep. The first has a short I sound. The second has a long E sound. Try this. Ship, sheep, bit, beat, sit, seat. You see, small vowel changes create big meaning differences. So focus on vowel length and mouth shape. When you say E, your mouth stretches wide like a smile. When you say I, it's shorter and more relaxed. Practice in front of a mirror until you can feel the difference. Now another helpful trick. Exaggerate new sounds when you practice. Don't be shy. If you exaggerate during practice, you'll sound natural during real conversation. For example, when you practice R and L, make them big. Say rice with a strong R, pull your tongue back. Then say lice with your tongue touching your teeth lightly. Rice, lice. Exaggeration trains your muscle memory. Over time, you won't need to think about it. Your mouth will just know what to do. Here's another story. Carlos from Mexico wanted to improve his pronunciation because he worked in customer service and often spoke to people from the US. He practiced daily using short dialogues from YouTube. He didn't just listen, he shadowed. He repeated the words immediately after the speaker, copying tone, pauses, and rhythm. Within 1 month, his pronunciation became smooth and clear. When I asked him how he practiced, he smiled and said, "I just shadowed my favorite Netflix characters." So yes, movies and shows can be your best teachers if you use them wisely. Let's try shadowing now together. I'll say a sentence slowly. You listen and repeat it with the same rhythm. Ready? I can speak clearly and confidently. Again, I can speak clearly and confidently. Now say it with emotion. Smile while you say it. I can speak clearly and confidently. Perfect. Feel the difference. When you smile, your voice sounds brighter and more natural. That's why smiling is a pronunciation secret. It changes the shape of your mouth and helps sounds flow more easily. Now let's work on connected speech. 1 of the biggest pronunciation secrets of fluent speakers. English words connect like a chain. For example, we don't usually say want to. We say wanna. We don't say going to. We say gonna. These connections make speech faster and smoother. But don't worry. You don't have to sound too casual. Just learn to recognize and use these forms naturally. Try repeating these with me. I'm gonna call you later. I want to learn English fast. I'm trying to improve my pronunciation. See how the words blend. Try saying them slowly first, then faster. Your goal is not to rush. It's to sound connected. Another important tip, record your progress weekly. Create a small pronunciation journal. Write down 5 sentences you want to master. Record yourself saying them at the start of the week, then again at the end. When you compare the two, you'll notice improvement. Even small changes are success. And don't forget to celebrate those small wins. Learning is easier when it's joyful. Now let's talk about imitation, but in a smart way. Don't just repeat words. Copy the emotion, rhythm, and style of native speakers. Pick someone whose voice you admire, maybe an actor, a YouTuber, or a public speaker. Listen to their tone, their pauses, their energy. Then try to imitate them, not word by word, but feeling by feeling. This builds natural fluency. You're not just learning pronunciation, you're learning communication. And here's a powerful mindset shift. Instead of thinking, I'm learning English, start thinking, I'm becoming an English speaker. When you say that, your brain starts to believe it. You stop comparing yourself to others, and you focus on your growth. Pronunciation is not about perfection, it's about connection. You don't need to sound like someone else. You need to sound like the best version of you speaking English. Before we close this section, let's do a mini reflection. Ask yourself, am I listening enough? Am I practicing daily, even for 10 minutes? Do I believe in my progress? If your answer is yes, then you're already winning. If not yet, don't worry. You can start today. So here's your small challenge for the next 24 hours. Pick a 1-minute clip from a movie or YouTube video. Listen carefully. Write down what you hear. Then shadow it. Copy every sound, pause, and intonation. Record yourself. Compare. You'll be surprised how much progress you can make in just one day. Remember, improvement doesn't come from doing something perfectly. It comes from doing it consistently. Repeat after me one last time before we finish this section. I believe in my voice. I can speak English clearly. I'm improving every single day. Excellent. Keep these affirmations in your heart. They will remind you that progress is already happening, even when you don't see it yet. Because pronunciation is not a one-time goal. It's a beautiful journey of self-expression. You've already learned so much about pronunciation, from rhythm and word stress to confidence and connected speech. You've practiced, you've repeated, and most importantly, you've believed in your growth. That's the real magic ingredient. Today, we'll go even deeper. You'll learn how to use sound awareness, emotion, and storytelling to take your pronunciation to the next level. By the end of this section, you'll not only sound better, you'll feel more connected to the language itself. Let's begin with a simple truth. Pronunciation starts with listening. But mastery comes from awareness. Think of your mouth as a musical instrument. You have to tune it, control it, and understand how each part works. So, let's take a little pronunciation body tour. Your lips' shape sounds like P, B, M, and W. Your teeth help you form F, V, by the. Your tongue creates T, D, L, R, and many others. Your throat controls vibration. That's what makes sounds voiced or voiceless. The more aware you become of what each part does, the easier it is to fix mistakes. Try this awareness exercise right now. Say think. Notice your tongue. It touches lightly between your teeth. Now say sink. The tongue stays behind the teeth. That tiny difference changes the whole sound. Amazing, right? This level of awareness helps you self-correct anytime, anywhere. You don't always need a teacher. Your mouth and your ears can guide you if you pay attention. Now here's a fun trick used by professional singers and voice coaches, the slow motion method. When you practice a sentence, say it extremely slowly. Stretch every sound. For example, take the sentence, "This is the best day of my life." Now say it slowly like this. This is the best day of my life. You might feel silly doing it, but this method works wonders. It gives your muscles time to move correctly. Once you master the slow version, you can speed it up gradually while keeping the same clarity. That's how professionals train their voice, slow, focused, and patient. Let's practice together using the slow motion method. Repeat after me slowly. Every day I speak more clearly again. Every day I speak more clearly. Now, a little faster. Every day I speak more clearly. Perfect. You see how your pronunciation stays clear even when you go faster. That's because you trained your muscles to remember the correct movement. Now let's talk about emotion and pronunciation. This may sound surprising, but emotions change your voice. When you feel happy, your tone rises naturally. When you're sad, your voice becomes lower and slower. When you're excited, your words are full of energy. Using emotion while speaking English makes your pronunciation more natural because real speech always carries feeling. So next time you practice, don't just say the words. Feel them. If you say, "I'm so excited," sound excited, smile. If you say, "I'm really tired," let your voice fall naturally. Emotions make your speech come alive. Let's try a mini emotional exercise. Say, "No, I love learning English," with joy and enthusiasm. Now say, "I'm a little tired today," with a soft, relaxed tone. And now, "I can do this," with power and determination. Did you feel the difference? Great pronunciation is not only about correct sounds, it's about expressing meaning. When you connect emotion with sound, people understand you better and feel more connected to you. Now, let's work on sentence stress. In every English sentence, some words are strong and others are weak. For example, in "I want to go to the park," the strong words are want and park. The small words, I, to, the, are softer. So English sounds like this. I want to go to the park. If you stress every word equally, it sounds unnatural. Native speakers use stress to highlight meaning. Try saying this with me. I want to go to the park. Now say it again, focusing on the rhythm. Strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, strong. Perfect. This rhythm is one of the biggest secrets of fluent English. You can learn every word in the dictionary, but if your rhythm is flat, your speech will still sound robotic. So always listen for which words are stressed and imitate that pattern. Let's take another example. I didn't say she stole the money. This sentence can have 7 different meanings depending on which word you stress. Watch this. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else did. I didn't say she stole the money. I didn't say it. Maybe I wrote it. I didn't say she stole the money, as I said someone else did. I didn't say she stole the money. She borrowed it, maybe. I didn't say she stole the money. It was another thing. Can you see how stress changes everything? That's why pronunciation and meaning go hand in hand. You're not just speaking sounds. You're communicating emotions and ideas. Now let's add a bit of fun with tongue twisters. They're not just for kids. They're powerful tools to train your pronunciation muscles. Let's try a few together. Red lorry, yellow lorry. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Go slowly first, then faster. These will help your tongue move smoothly between sounds. If you can say these clearly, you can say anything clearly. Let's pause for a quick reality check. Maybe you've practiced pronunciation before and thought, I'm not improving. That's normal. Progress in pronunciation is invisible at first. You don't hear the change immediately because your brain needs time to adjust. But after a few weeks, suddenly people start saying, wow, your English sounds great. That's how learning works. Silently, gradually, and then suddenly. So don't quit before the magic happens. Every repetition, every small effort is building your future fluency. Now let's talk about shadowing with subtitles. Earlier we practiced shadowing by repeating after a speaker. But here's an advanced version. Use English subtitles. Watch a short video, read along and speak at the same time. Try to match not only the sounds but also the timing. Pause when the speaker pauses. Lower your tone when theirs does. Rise when theirs rises. This technique makes your speech more natural. And here's a bonus. It improves your listening, reading, and pronunciation at once. You can even make it more interactive. For example, after shadowing a scene, pause and act it out yourself. Pretend you're the character. Feel the emotion. Speak the lines from memory. This builds confidence and fluency at the same time. You're not just repeating words, you're performing communication. Now let's move to one of my favorite pronunciation boosters, reading aloud. Many learners underestimate this simple habit, but it's one of the best ways to train your mouth. When you read aloud, your brain, eyes, and mouth work together. You can choose short stories, news articles, or even English Avenue transcripts. The key is to read slowly, clearly, and with feeling. Start with 5 minutes a day. Over time, your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence will all improve. Let's try a short reading exercise together. Repeat after me. Every word I speak brings me closer to fluency. I enjoy the sound of English in my mouth. My pronunciation improves each time I practice. Now, say all 3 sentences together smoothly. Excellent. You're not only practicing sounds, you're training your mindset. The more positive you feel about your English, the more naturally it flows. Now let's talk about one important thing: feedback. You can't fix what you can't hear. So find a way to get feedback on your pronunciation. You can use online apps, pronunciation websites, or language exchange partners. Ask them, can you tell me which words sound unclear? Don't take feedback as criticism. Take it as direction. Every correction is a gift that moves you forward. Here's a story to inspire you. Raj, a learner from India, used to avoid speaking English because people often asked him to repeat. He felt embarrassed, but instead of giving up, he started recording short voice messages to his language partner. His partner gave him feedback gently, one sound at a time. Within 6 months, his pronunciation became clear and confident. He later told me, I didn't realize I was improving until strangers started complimenting my English. That's the power of consistent feedback and patience. Before we finish this section, I want you to repeat a few motivational sentences to lock in your learning. My pronunciation is improving every day. I listen carefully and speak clearly. I'm proud of my progress. I speak English with confidence and joy. Beautiful. Each repetition builds a stronger, more confident speaker inside you. Remember, pronunciation is not just about how you sound. It's about how you feel when you speak. When you feel relaxed, joyful, and confident, your voice flows naturally. So treat every practice session as a celebration of your growth. Smile, speak, and enjoy the journey, because you are becoming the speaker you've always wanted to be. My friend, take a deep breath and smile. You've already learned more than most learners ever do. But now, we're going to go deeper, because pronunciation isn't just about saying words correctly. It's about flow. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They connect sounds, glide between syllables, and let sentences dance. That's what makes English sound smooth and musical. And the good news is, you can learn that too. Let's start with rhythm. Every language has its own beat, just like music. In English, we have what's called stress-timed rhythm. That means some words are said strong and clear, while others are said quickly or softly in between. Listen to this sentence. I want to go to the park. If you listen closely, you'll notice that want, go, and park get more stress. The words to and the are softer, so it sounds like this. I want to go to the park. Repeat after me. I want to go to the park. Good. Feel that up and down rhythm? That's the heartbeat of English. Now try another one. She's going to call me later. Say it naturally. She's going to call me later. Did you notice how going to becomes gonna? That's called connected speech. It's how native speakers make English flow naturally. It's not wrong or lazy. It's natural speech rhythm. When you learn these small reductions, your pronunciation becomes much smoother and more authentic. Let's try some common connected forms together. Want to becomes wanna. Going to becomes gonna. Got to becomes gotta. Let me becomes lemmy. Give me becomes gimme. Don't. No becomes dunno. Let's say them naturally. I want to learn English. I'm gonna call you later. I gotta go now. Let me see that. Give me a minute. I don't know what to say. Repeat them out loud several times. These forms make your English sound natural, not robotic. Now, one important thing, don't worry about sounding perfectly American or perfectly British. What matters is that people understand you easily and that you sound confident. Connected speech helps with that. When words flow together, your sentences sound more natural and relaxed. Here's a quick rhythm exercise you can practice every morning. It's called tap and speak. Take any sentence, for example, I really love speaking English. Now tap your hand or fingers gently on the table to find the rhythm. I really love speaking English. Feel the strong beats? That's how English rhythm works. Some syllables are stressed, others glide by softly. Try it with different sentences each day. You'll start to feel English instead of just saying it. Let's go deeper into something powerful, word stress. In English, one syllable in a word is usually stronger. That's why we say photograph, not photograph, and develop, not develop. Stress changes meaning and clarity. Try these pairs. Contract, noun versus contract, verb. Present noun versus present, verb. Record noun versus record, verb. Do you hear how the stressed syllable changes the function? This is why stress is key to understanding and being understood. If you stress the wrong syllable, people might need to guess your meaning. But when you stress correctly, you sound fluent. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite techniques, mimic rhythm, not just words. When you listen to a native speaker, don't just repeat what they say, copy how they say it. The pauses, the tone, the energy. For example, if someone says, "That's amazing," try saying it with the same excitement. Don't just copy the sound, copy the emotion. This is how your pronunciation becomes alive. Here's a small story. There was a student named Carlos from Brazil. He practiced pronunciation for months, but still sounded mechanical. Then one day, he started copying not just words, but the emotion in movie scenes. He repeated whole dialogues from his favorite films, trying to match tone and rhythm. In 3 weeks, people noticed the change. They said, "Carlos, you sound natural now." Why? Because pronunciation is not just sound, it's feeling. Emotion makes your speech flow. When you feel what you say, your English voice shines. Let's do a mini acting exercise. Say the following line 3 times, each with a different emotion. I can do this. First say it calmly. I can do this. Now say it with excitement. I can do this. Now with determination. I can do this. See? The words are the same, but the meaning changes through pronunciation. That's the magic of tone. Every emotion teaches your tongue and breath new movements. So practice with feeling, not fear. Now let's build your personal pronunciation routine. You don't need hours a day. You just need consistency. Here's a simple 20-minute daily plan. Minute 1-5. Warm up your mouth. Say tongue twisters or stretch your jaw. Minute 6-10. Listen and shadow a short video or audio clip. Minute 11-15. Record yourself and compare to the original. Minute 16-20. Speak freely for 2 minutes about your day, then relax. That's it. Just 20 minutes a day. But if you do this daily, your pronunciation will transform faster than you think. And remember, you can personalize it. If you love music, sing English songs. Singing improves pronunciation rhythm naturally. If you enjoy movies, mimic dialogues. If you like reading, record yourself reading stories aloud. The key is to connect practice with pleasure. When you enjoy what you do, you'll never skip it. Let's practice a few tongue twisters together to build muscle control. Say them slowly first, then faster. She sells seashells by the seashore. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Red lorry, yellow lorry, truly rural. Try repeating each 5 times. It's fun, and it trains your mouth to move smoothly. Now let's talk about a hidden skill, self-awareness. Good learners listen to themselves objectively. So record yourself speaking every week and listen carefully. Don't judge, observe. Ask, am I improving? Which sounds are still unclear? Where can I slow down? This simple habit helps you become your own best teacher. Remember, awareness leads to progress. Now let's reflect for a moment. You've learned about stress, rhythm, connected speech, emotion, and daily habits. These are the pillars of natural pronunciation. But there's something else, patience. Many learners want fast results, but real improvement takes time. You can't force it. You must grow into it. Think of pronunciation like a plant. You water it every day, give it light, and slowly it blooms. You might not see changes every day, but after a few weeks, you'll notice your speech feels smoother, lighter, more confident. That's progress, and it's worth it. Here's a beautiful quote to keep you inspired. The trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Your pronunciation journey is just like that. Steady, strong, full of promise. Every word you practice brings you closer to fluency. Let's finish this section with a gentle practice of mindfulness and sound. Sit comfortably. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in deeply. Now say softly, I am improving every day. I speak clearly and confidently. My English sounds better and better. Each repetition trains both your voice and your mind. Remember, belief fuels skill. When you believe in your voice, it grows stronger. Before we end, here's your mini daily challenge. For the next 7 days, record yourself reading one short paragraph in English every morning. It could be from a book, a poem, or an article. Save the recordings. After a week, listen to your first and last recording. You'll hear the change, and that change will motivate you to keep going. You're doing something powerful. You're shaping not just your pronunciation, but your identity as an English speaker. So keep smiling, keep practicing, and keep shining. You're closer to fluency than you think. My amazing learner, you've worked hard and you've grown so much. Remember when you started, maybe unsure of how to fix your pronunciation. Now you understand rhythm, stress, connection, and emotion. You've practiced tongue twisters, echo techniques, and confident speaking. You've learned that pronunciation isn't just about sound. It's about identity, courage, and persistence. But today, we're going to focus on the long game. Because real fluency comes not from short bursts of effort, but from steady, joyful consistency. Let's start with something many learners struggle with: motivation. Motivation is like fuel. It gets you started, but it doesn't last forever. Discipline, however, takes you across the finish line. There will be days when you don't feel like practicing. Maybe you're tired, or busy, or frustrated because you don't hear improvement. That's normal. Every learner faces that wall. What matters is that you keep showing up, even on low-energy days. On days like that, reduce your practice time, but don't skip it completely. Even a 2-minute practice keeps your brain connected to English. Tiny steps still move you forward. Here's a small trick I tell my students: create a pronunciation ritual. Choose a small routine you do every single day, no matter what. It could be 5 minutes of shadowing while you make coffee, repeating affirmations in the mirror, or reading one paragraph aloud before bed. Rituals make practice automatic. You won't need motivation. It'll just become part of who you are. Remember, small habits create big changes. Let's talk about feedback, because you can't fix what you don't notice. There are 3 ways to get feedback: from yourself, from others, and from technology. First, self-feedback. Record yourself, listen carefully, and compare your speech with native speakers. Second, peer feedback. Join online English communities, language exchanges, or speaking clubs. When you talk to others, you'll notice which words cause confusion. Those are the ones to polish. Third, use tools. Speech recognition apps, AI voice trainers, or pronunciation checkers. They're not perfect, but they help you catch mistakes and track progress. The more feedback you get, the faster you improve. Now let's talk about environment. Your environment shapes your progress. If you surround yourself with English, your pronunciation will improve naturally. But if English is only in your lessons, it fades. So bring English into your daily world. Label things around your room in English: mirror, door, window. When you use them, say their names aloud. Watch English news or YouTube channels during meals. Listen to English podcasts while walking. Let English live around you. When your environment speaks English, your mouth will too. Here's something you might not realize. Your physical health affects pronunciation. If you're tired, dehydrated, or tense, your voice tightens. So take care of your body. Drink water before speaking practice. Warm up your mouth gently. Stretch your lips, roll your tongue, hum softly. It relaxes your vocal muscles and improves clarity. Breathing deeply through your diaphragm also gives your voice power and control. Think of your body as your pronunciation instrument. Keep it tuned and healthy. Now let's explore something that advanced learners master: intonation for meaning. You already know English intonation rises and falls, but did you know it can change meaning even with the same words? Try this sentence: you're coming. Say it flatly: you're coming. Statement. Now say it with rising tone. You're coming? Use question. Now say it with excitement. You're coming. Surprise or joy. The words don't change. Only the melody does. English is a musical language. If you control intonation, you control emotion and clarity. Practice reading short dialogues with different feelings. Notice how your mouth and energy shift. You'll sound more expressive, natural, and engaging. Let's make this practical. Pick one short clip from your favorite movie or show, maybe 30 seconds long. Listen carefully to how the actors change tone. Are they serious? Playful? Surprised? Then imitate their tone, not their accent. Matching tone helps you sound natural in your own accent. Because here's a truth. You don't need to erase your accent to sound clear. Your accent is part of your identity. What matters is that you pronounce key sounds correctly, use rhythm naturally, and communicate with confidence. That's what makes you understandable and impressive. I once coached a student named Ahmed from Egypt. He used to say, "I'll never sound fluent. My accent is too strong." But after months of practice, something beautiful happened. He realized his accent wasn't a barrier, it was flavor. He learned how to pronounce clearly, and soon people started saying, "You speak so clearly. Where did you learn English?" He smiled and said, "From practicing my own way." That's the secret. Don't aim to sound like someone else. Aim to sound like the best version of you. Now let's add a little fun. Try the accent stretch game. Every day, imitate a new accent for 5 minutes. British, American, Australian, whatever you like. It's not about perfection. It's about flexibility. When you play with different accents, you strengthen your control over sounds and rhythm. It's like a gym for your mouth. Plus it's fun. After a week, you'll notice your real accent sounds more balanced and flexible. Let's move to another important concept. Speaking speed. Many learners think speaking fast means speaking well. But speed without clarity is confusion. It's better to speak slowly and clearly than quickly and unclear. Native speakers often pause, repeat, and breathe between ideas. So don't rush. When you slow down, your pronunciation improves instantly. Practice speaking slowly but with full rhythm and energy. Remember, confidence speaks slowly. Here's a short exercise. Take any sentence, for example, "I believe in my English." Say it fast. "I believe in my English." Now say it slowly with rhythm. "I believe in my English." Which one sounds clearer? The second one, right? Speed comes naturally later. Clarity comes first. Now let's talk about review. Every few weeks, take time to review your old recordings. Compare your progress. When you hear improvement, celebrate it. When you hear mistakes, note them. Not with judgment, but curiosity. Ask, "Why does this sound off?" Maybe your mouth position changed or you rushed the rhythm. Awareness creates growth. The more you reflect, the faster you improve. Here's something powerful I want you to remember. You're not learning English pronunciation. You're becoming an English speaker. That's an identity shift. You're not a student anymore. You're a communicator, a connector, a confident voice. When you think like that, your pronunciation changes naturally because your mind believes it's real. Let's do a short reflection practice. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Imagine yourself 1 year from now, speaking English clearly, confidently, fluently. Imagine the smiles of people listening to you, understanding you easily. Imagine giving a presentation, or having a conversation, or traveling abroad, feeling relaxed and proud. That's your future. It's already waiting for you. All you have to do is keep walking. Let's finish with a final daily routine idea, something simple but powerful. Mirror talk. Every morning look into the mirror and say, "Good morning. Today I speak English with confidence." Then speak 1 paragraph about your day. Watch your mouth move. See how your lips shape words. Hear your voice. This builds confidence and awareness together. It's simple, but it works wonders. Before we end this section, let's repeat a few affirmations, powerful ones that remind you of how far you've come. Say them out loud with me. My voice is strong. My English is improving every day. I speak with confidence and clarity. I enjoy learning. I am proud of my progress. Beautiful. Every time you speak these words, you train your mind to stay positive and focused. You've already done something incredible by reaching this point. Most learners give up early, but you've stayed. And that tells me something important. You're serious about growing. You're not just learning English. You're becoming the kind of person who follows through, who believes in their voice, who keeps improving no matter what. And remember this: pronunciation is not a race. It's a rhythm. Some days you'll feel smooth, some days you'll stumble, but that's okay. Every word, every sound, every small practice session counts. Progress is not about perfection, it's about persistence. So keep listening, keep speaking, keep smiling. You've built a strong foundation that will carry you far beyond pronunciation into fluency, confidence, and connection. The world is full of people who want to hear your voice. Don't hide it. Share it proudly, because you've earned it. My amazing learner, this is your final stretch. And I want to start by saying something simple but true. You've already succeeded. You may not feel it every day, but every small effort you've made, every word you've spoken, every time you practiced, even when you didn't feel like it, has built something powerful inside you. Improvement in pronunciation isn't just about learning sounds. It's about growing courage, patience, and self-belief. And you've done that. Now, before we close, let's take a step back and remember why you started. Maybe you wanted to speak clearly at work, travel abroad, or simply express yourself freely in English. Whatever your reason, it started with a dream. The dream of connection. Because that's what pronunciation is really about. Connection. When your words are clear, your heart connects more easily with others. And that connection can change your life. You've learned so many techniques: how to listen actively, how to shadow, how to use rhythm, how to feel intonation, and how to train your mouth with focus. But beyond that, you've learned how to think like a confident communicator. You've learned that practice doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. You've learned that your accent isn't a problem. It's a part of your beautiful identity. You've learned that every time you speak, you improve, even if nobody else notices yet. Now let's talk about what comes next. The future you. From this day forward, don't just study English. Live it. Speak to strangers when you can. Watch English videos without subtitles sometimes. Read books out loud, even if it's just one page a day. Listen to your favorite songs and repeat the lyrics. Laugh at English jokes. Let English be a part of your emotions, not just your lessons. The more you let it flow into your daily life, the faster your pronunciation will evolve naturally. Here's a simple long-term plan you can follow. Every day, do something small for pronunciation. 10 or 15 minutes is enough. Every week, record yourself speaking for 1 minute about any topic. Every month, listen to your oldest recording and notice the difference. Every season, reward yourself. Buy a new English book, watch a movie without subtitles, or share your progress online. Celebrate your growth, because every small victory deserves recognition. Now let's talk about mindset. The strongest learners understand that mistakes aren't failures, they're teachers. Every mispronounced word is a message that says, pay attention here. So instead of being frustrated, be curious. Ask, why did this sound feel wrong? Where does my tongue move? What happens when I change my stress? Curiosity turns problems into progress. And remember, every native speaker you admire once learned to speak too. Everyone starts somewhere. There's a story I love about a Japanese learner named Rina. When she first started speaking English, people couldn't understand her clearly. She practiced daily but often felt discouraged. One day, her teacher told her, stop trying to sound perfect. Start trying to sound clear. That small shift changed everything. She focused on clarity, not accent. Slowly, Her pronunciation improved, and people started complimenting her. A year later, she gave a short talk in English at her company, and everyone understood her perfectly. She told me later, it wasn't magic, it was patience and practice. You can have the same result because the same potential lives in you. Let's take a moment to speak directly to your confidence. Repeat these sentences after me, slowly and clearly. I have a beautiful voice. My English is clear and improving. I am not afraid to make mistakes. I practice every day, and I grow stronger. I believe in myself. Now smile. That's the voice of someone who's going to make a difference. Before we finish, I want to share something deeply important. When you speak English, you're not just using another language. You're building bridges between cultures, between people, between ideas. Your pronunciation helps you connect hearts, not just words. That's why this journey matters. Every clear sentence, every confident conversation is a small act of courage that opens doors. You may not realize it, but your English voice could inspire someone else to start their own journey too. So from today, whenever you speak, speak with pride, speak with warmth, speak with belief. If someone doesn't understand you the first time, smile and repeat. That's not failure, that's communication. And communication is what language is truly about. Let's do one last exercise together, a visualization. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself walking into a room full of people speaking English. You walk up to someone, smile and say, "Hi, nice to meet you." They smile back. You talk, laugh, and feel completely at ease. You don't worry about pronunciation anymore because it flows naturally. You understand them and they understand you. That's the future you're creating. One word, one day, one step at a time. Remember, pronunciation is not a finish line. It's a lifelong rhythm. Even native speakers improve and adjust over time. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep celebrating every milestone. The real goal isn't to sound like someone else. It's to sound like the most confident version of yourself. And as we close this lesson, I want you to remember 3 golden truths. First, practice a little every day. Consistency beats perfection. Second, listen deeply and speak bravely. Your ears and your heart guide your mouth. Third, believe in your voice. Because your voice has power, purpose, and beauty. You've walked through the full journey of pronunciation, from fear to freedom, from confusion to clarity, from hesitation to confidence. You've built a habit that will serve you for life. So keep going, keep shining, and keep speaking, because your English voice deserves to be heard. You are not just learning pronunciation. You are becoming fluent, confident, and unstoppable. And I'll leave you with this final line. Say it out loud with me, proudly and clearly. I am confident. I'm improving. My English voice is strong. Yes, it is. And it will only get stronger from here. Thank you for staying till the end. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and never stop believing in the power of your voice. You've got this.